Matt Diego, Elena Finn, Ray Smith, and me, and our control list this morning. Ray's got the minutes for the highway portion of the. Take a second for that motion to accept the minutes. I will second that. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. All right, and we'll start. I'm sorry, we have one town resident here. Ellen,
DeVero. I live at 1322 Hawthorne Road, and I'm of the CA.
okay, that's it for right now. All right, we just
Oh.
want to get you on this for attendance.
Oh,
all right?
sorry.
No worries. We're gonna get back to you, okay?
Okay, yeah, no problem.
All right. We won't make you wait too long. We're
That's
gonna start with the highway portion of our meeting. So Ray, go ahead.
Okay, so resident temporary basin repairs that we've been doing, we've put on a list to be, the coal patch is taken out in the springtime, which replaced with hot mix. Permanent patch, amount of rain and melt off we've had, which is usually typical, is when things show up, and with the snow being gone, it's more evident as we get calls or.
Right, I know you and I talked about
Yeah.
that one day. There was quite a few spots, you know, I'm sure you get calls from residents.
Being here, the uptick in calls, people are noticing things, so our phones have been ringing quite rapidly. Small drainage projects, sections, identifying outfalls that need to be cleaned out, so we're doing them type of things now, which is all stuff that needs to be done, and this is the time of year in which to do it. I will say over the Christmas holiday, Christmas Eve, with the amount of rain we had and snow melt, we had numerous crews in for flooding in the morning. We had the uptick in wind came in. We had a tree crew in the afternoon, and then from there, with the temperature drop, we had trucks salting and sanding. So Christmas Eve was pretty busy. We had a variety of different crews in for the day, but all we handled pretty well for all that we had for that variety on that day. Currently 2 grounds workers positions open. I worked with Beth, the controller, yesterday to update our what we put in the paper for to try to draw applicants in. So Beth was kind enough to go over the service, civil service description, put in what she felt was a good heading to attract people. So I know Beth had Seth posted on the website yesterday, and she also prepared a paragraph for me to put into the newspaper to try to attract some applicants. So appreciate all the help there. And we do find with a lot of our postings and notices and stuff, we've been upgrading them as we go along. They have a different look at them and changing them. Parks crews, I've been working in the parks, also the bike path. Typically this time of year, we try to trim brush along the bike path that's identifiable as reaching out into the limits of what we mow. And this is the time of year to do it because they're not in bloom. People still use the bike path every day, so the impact of you cutting the brush out doesn't just massacre the landscape. And then in the spring you get beautiful green growth and it looks good. So that's why we do that type of work this time of year.
Speaking of the bike path, can you just for the record sort of explain the plowing and maintenance of that during the winter months?
So we do, typically we do a few sections of the bike path that we plow. We do not salt it, we only plow it. And that would be from Lions Park to Lock 7. A lot of people walk that and then walk the road down to the lock and turn around and walk back. We plow from Riverdale Road across from Blatnick Park all the way to St. Joseph's. This services a lot of people from Capel use that bike path, and a lot of people from the Rosendale Road neighborhood also walk that section of path. The other sections are we leave the snow on them, and that's typically used by cross-country skiers and stuff like that. We do groom the trails over at River Road Park and have looked at expanding part of them down towards Anthony Street to like Williams area. But this year, with as fast as we had the snow, it left us, so
Right.
we didn't really utilize that yet. If we get more snow, we will be doing that, but that gives everybody an opportunity.
Right, I just want to make it clear, we don't salt it, we do what we can to maintain it, but
Right.
people have to be careful out there.
And then, of course, the routes we do here, Knott Street East with the snow blowers and that for pedestrians to get to school, get ShopRite, so that as well as all the state and county roads.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, Parks crews have started working on the drainage at the baseball fields at Blatnick Park. This was a project that the supervisor got us grant money to do. Needed upgrades there. They definitely have an issue with water. This is a collaborative effort with Matt's department. Matt and Dan were down there yesterday shooting grades with the crews that are doing the pipes. All the materials finally came in, so we're pretty much set there. They're beginning to dig today to put the dry well in and start doing the piping. So again, a great collaborative effort between the different departments, and everything that we've done has been in-house. So at a great savings, making the money that we got go that much further. So it's been a good effort by everybody involved here. Number 5, Christmas tree pickup. So the trees will be circulating the town for the month of January. I think it goes to like February 3rd when the week ends. But I put a post, there's a post on the website of the, and I also included in this, that all ornaments, plastic bags, and metal must be removed. The Christmas trees as we pick them up. And the reason for this is we collect these and then we check these into a pile as renewable resources. We use them as bedding and different gardens. We use them for our trail system, muddy areas, we put them in. So, we're not just filling a landfill or paying to get rid of them. We actually use the renewable resources in-house, which we do with even all of our tree trimming or storm damage, just to lessen the burden on everybody. So there has been a lot out, and we encourage people as they get them out of their house, don't leave them up by their front porch, put them right out by the road, because it's definitely easier to pick them up in weather like this than when we throws it in. So it's definitely get them out there, and we'll get them picked up for you. Number 6, snow plowing and sanding, just an update on that. So prior to the first of the year, we were out 4 times, salt and sand, different dates. That consists of 5 trucks, divided the town into 5 different routes. So that takes about 3.5, 4 hours to complete. And then we were in 3 times plowing, which is my full staff out, 9 routes. Same thing, 3.5 to 4 hours to plow the route and sand it. So just as an update of what we've done previous to the first of the year. I have no items for resolution at this time. And then number 8, open discussion.
So at this point, let's have our resident input, all right? I'm gonna open the
Sure.
floor for Alan, all right? Now that we
Or Ms. Fiona. And I just actually came, I just wanted to thank you for the LOMO initiative that that was done last year. I'm sure you know, but like up on that hill by where the golf is, they Nick and Laura and I, we planted wildflowers
Yep.
in those 4 sections. So I kind of just Laura, I went and I measured them and put together a map, or well, actually Laura and I worked on the map. And so she's gonna update that and just get that to you so that you have that, and then also would have the wildflower and grasses that we put in there.
Mhm.
And our plan is just to keep doing that into all the areas that that are in that low mow area.
Yeah.
So that it will be a mixture of wildflowers.
You're gonna expand
Yeah.
every year, do a little bit.
Yeah.
I know the county was very helpful when
Oh,
we
yeah.
met with them the first.
And hopefully, so I just wanted to, with my, so it's gonna basically stay the same. Is that the thought
The
process?
area?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that and the cap too is the cap, and the cap is like mowed like once or twice a year.
Once a year.
Yeah.
Well, the
After-
low mow area, the disc golf, we mow every few weeks, every
Okay.
2 to 3 weeks.
Okay,
The other areas will be mowed once a year in the fall.
okay, the same, I know, Roy Thornton is a big advocate for for those, for the bobolinks in that area.
grassland
So-
birds, yeah.
Yeah, so, which was very nice, and I know that, I'm sure you saw the email that he sent with all the birds that they had tagged and everything like that, so that was really nice. I just basically came to thank you for doing it, to, let you know that, Laura and I had updated that, and that our plan was to continue to, I guess there's like 5 or different like seed mixes that that New York State suggested that we use. So we're gonna, as we can, we're just gonna continue to purchase them and get the compost or whatever from Schenectady County. They offered to continue to work with us
Yeah.
and to do that.
So one thought on that, if you have, like Laura's gonna put that together, we can do small placard boards with, if you wanna put the variety so people know what they're looking at, we can post them within there because it doesn't impact us mowing because we're not mowing it.
Okay,
So, there is that cut through path over
Yeah.
to River Hill.
Yeah. yeah, because we put those like little why it's low mo there. But we
Right.
didn't put the specific flowers and stuff.
Right, so as you expand, if you wanna identify what they are, we could even just make a temporary on a steel post,
Okay,
pound it in so that people know.
yeah,
Not everybody would recognize what they are and would probably say,
okay,
what are these?
okay,
That may be an option for you. That's very inexpensive and it can be done with it in-house. So
okay, perfect.
if you
Yes.
want to do that, we can laminate actually up. If she makes a flyer, we can laminate it, mount it to a board on a post. It can be simple.
Okay, great, yeah. So that's sort of like the 2023 plan for Lobo. So I just wanted to confirm that it was all still a go and that it was. and that-
All right, it was a little pilot project, and so
Yeah.
it seems to be worth our
Yeah, and-
attention to continue that.
Yeah, and I mean, I walked through there yesterday again with my dog, and that's a really nice wide path, that you're not worried about, like, too many ticks or even when the grasses get high or whatever.
And that gives, if there's a person coming with a dog
Yeah.
or going with a dog, everything, when you leave things unmaintained, they definitely grow in.
Yeah.
So we want to make it definitely prominent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So number 8, open discussion, spring projects. So the supervisor has asked that we put some plans together for some future grants that she's looking for. And I believe this is a broad spectrum of different department heads, doing different parts and pieces of this. And, so, you know, that's what we're working on now is, measurements and, you know, kind of rough sketches of what we'd be wanting to do. So, you know, it's in the beginning stages, but again, a lot of different department heads involved in a lot of different projects. Majority of this stuff is in-house. Again, using the funds to the best we can. And it's working out. It does, at least in my point of view, these are all enhancing the things that we have rather than just creating new.
Yeah.
These are add-ons to what we have existing and only seem to be making things better. The collaborative effort is working great. And we appreciate, at least I do, I appreciate the support from the supervisor, the board members. Everybody's a part of this, so it has definitely been good doing these projects, and you can see the benefits.
Yeah, or, you know, you didn't even speak about on your agenda, the senior center drainage that you took care of down there at that. You're still working over here
Yeah.
at Town Hall.
A lot of good improvements.
Lot of projects, and we're doing them in-house, which is good, and I definitely, there is a benefit with the different people being involved in them. It's been easy, actually, and it's been rewarding, so,
That is very true.
Right.
I agree.
you know, we struggled through a lot of different, I gotta say, there's a big difference, and it's fun to do it. So. And Dan,
Yeah, I really
And they
appreciate
saw
that.
fields yesterday, got that surveyed and,
I mentioned that before you were late.
You got
You called it out.
I was working late getting ready for race. There is one upgrade I'd like to do at the pavilion behind the senior center. I'd like to be able to put in a public Wi-Fi into that pavilion to, you know, since it's something fairly inexpensive and easy for us to do. So I'll get with you for this spring to
What
talk
do
about
you
that.
need there?
Potentially power, like an
There's
outlet.
power there.
No,
There's a
like,
power box there.
but you know, put an outlet in for me.
Yep, yeah, Charlie can do that.
So
Definitely.
Okay, we can look at that. Do we have anything else for Ray's portion of the meeting? Transportation and public facilities. All right, if we don't, we're gonna move on to public works. We have the minutes from the public works. Motion to approve those minutes. So moved, I will second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. The attendance is the same. The addition of Dana. Got here just a little bit late, and then we'll turn it over to you, Matt.
Okay, thank Kathy for getting all the minutes together, and getting everything down accurately and,
Yes, thank you.
attorney's items, I just left it on there because
Yeah, that's
There's
fine.
an
I think, I mean, basically what happened or where we're at is that I had Beth pull the numbers for what the other companies on the tower, what they're paying and what we should be getting out of this contract. Dish Network, the contract when it was provided to me, they were proposing, what was it, $1,500 yearly? Monthly, yes. That wasn't quite in line with what the others were paying. I think even our lowest one was over that. So I had gone back to them with a different proposal, the ones that we currently have. And I
How
think,
long is that contract?
long, it's like 20 years, right? I believe it's like a 20-year contract. It's a long
Renewals
contract.
every 5?
Yep, so renewals every 5 and would increase every 5 years, just like the others do. They, again, you know, they're willing to take the old equipment off the tower for us. But that's kind of where we're at is, I think Beth would like to see the numbers a little bit higher than the 2,000. And they haven't come back willing to pay more 2,000 right now.
Which is about the middle of where we're at with the others, is that right?
I believe so.
Okay. Have you looked into any, I mean, is that what's sort of happening in the industry or what other municipalities might be getting for this?
It's where they're at right now is not unreasonable, but just, you know, I hadn't seen the contract come back. It came back while I was out, so I was hoping for a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
since we know we have, you know, things we're gonna have to be dealing with the water towers as it is. So,
It's for 5 years, right? The first.
yeah, and then it's got
Yeah,
built-in
Yeah,
increases.
built-in
I just wanna,
percentage increases
I'll
that are
just need
in
to-
line with
I
it.
look at
I know that they
part
were
of it.
lower initially, but they agreed to come up to match what the others
Okay,
were, so.
well, with that, then it's not unreasonable, but.
So, I
we
mean, if
had
everybody is okay with that, then I can move forward, but if we want to try to negotiate higher, then that's, obviously, that would be the next step is to negotiate, or try to negotiate a higher rate.
Well, I guess I leave that to your expertise, sort of
I'll
speaking.
run the numbers with the new,
research.
with the new,
We can do that.
We'll
And then
take a look at
potentially, I mean, depending on what results from that, everything else looks good to go, so it could potentially be on for the 24th.
You know, simply. with
And they
the
are
other
agreeing
equipment
to take
off the
the
tower and that
equipment,
kind
which
of
would have
stuff.
been costly to us.
So we are getting more out of them.
Right. Yep.
Than just the monthly rental. Okay. We're okay with them moving forward with that, right?
With reviewing the numbers.
yeah, I'll just take
and
one last look
determining
at
if
the
we need
numbers
to
now that it's back.
continue to negotiate.
So I think some of the other contracts don't have in there that they have to move.
Correct.
like, to do maintenance on the tower, so
Correct.
it's just something that they gave to us.
And I mean, this is the one that's on, but there's AT&T and somebody else who's Verizon, well, not Verizon,
No, it was AT&T.
AT&T. There is somebody else. There's 3 of them that are contacting me, including Dish Network. So there's,
Some of
there
them are
will
through a
be,
third party, which is why there's.
yeah, there will be, new contracts entered into where we can add that language.
Yeah, that's key. Thank you. Water and sewer maintenance, just an update. Water crews are working today to install a flushing hydrant at the intersection of Becker and Central Ave that will help the area around Torres Road. And in the last few months, they've installed several of these stations, and they've been working very well. We're very happy with the performance. Water quality has improved greatly in many areas, and it just makes for an overall healthier system for the water system.
So it's getting better.
All of our team, very good.
Okay, good.
So they're installing that?
They're installing today, yes.
Oh, that's great. And for us non-engineers, how long, like, it'll be online today?
The first portion of it, the tap to the water main and the main body of the unit will be installed today. There may be some additional drainage work they'll do the day after. If they have time today, they'll do it. And then if not, tomorrow will be the latest that will be online.
Great.
Um,
Will that be communicated to any?
So I have a couple of resolutions that we would like to have on the organizational meeting. We talked to Elaine about these already. One is awarding the contracts for the chemical purchases for the water plant and sewer plant. We had a bid opening yesterday. I'm reviewing the bids. I have one bid I have to check out, and I'm going to meet with the plant operator today. So I'll have a final list of bid lowest bidders. And then the next item too is also another resolution for the organizational meeting. It would be to award our lab services for the water plant and sewer plant. We had proposals from multiple labs. I have the numbers, but I just want to check one group numbers. I did send tentative information to Elaine yesterday. That should be the same. I don't expect it to change, but if something were to change, I'll have the numbers to Elaine today.
How was it with the chemicals? Were you happy with what you got?
Some came down. Yeah, some were better than others.
Good.
One, there was one that bid a 4-month price
Okay.
guarantee. So my thought was to award that because it was the lowest.
Yeah.
We can award that one and then award an alternate.
Mhm.
And then if the other one comes back less than the alternate, we go with that one, so.
That's great.
The next is a resolution, to repair the fence and gate at the water tower site. I think Ray was working with Charlie and the contractor to get a price for us for that work. It's looking to be about $8,000, so it would require a resolution.
What's the problem with what we have over there?
It's been moved over the years by the frost and the system won't close automatically any longer. So it has to be done manually each time. So the pulleys and the chain and the automatic drive have been offline for a couple of years at least.
That this fell under the meeting we had about the security of the site
You can see,
and keeping track of how people are going in and out. So this is just to make this right. It's in despair. So.
Yeah, it's been a year or two since I've been up there, but.
That is kind of far for you to travel.
But speaking about that, if we haven't, I don't know if that's not on your plowing or if that road didn't.
check to see, did
Okay.
the access road in?
Yeah.
Really? I will check to see.
You know, we could cut that brush down and you could keep an eye on it.
I can plow it for.
all the time.
I can do the plowing.
But yeah, that was brought up in a different meeting where there was concerns over, you know, the fob system working and, you know, being able to, different vendors being in there and stuff. So it's gonna help one track it and it's gonna put it back to where it needs to be.
The next is a resolution to the purchase of pump station repair parts. Every year we do a resolution in front of the seaward because we don't know exactly what our issues are going to be with our pump stations until we tear them apart. But if we don't have the approval ahead of time to buy up to a certain amount, then we go back to the board each time. We could go 2 or 3 months before you get the parts in, and these stations can't be down. So I sent the information. Well, we have the resolution.
Standard resolution,
Let's see. Ray mentioned he had openings still in his crew. We still have openings in our water and sewer maintenance crew. In the past, we did keep costs down when we just do a simple ad and then direct people to our webpage. That's not.
When I was doing the update for Ray's, I looked at the one that's been on for years, and I don't know if you want to take a look at, all I did was take part of the job description, but then I kind of put a little blurb above it that really kind of emphasized all the benefits.
Okay.
Because I know our pay isn't quite what a lot of times the private sector pays, but you know, we have a lot of really good benefits with healthcare and insurance and with paid time off and part of the retirement system that I don't think people are always thinking about. So I thought maybe bringing that to the forefront would make it a little more attractive.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so take a look at that
Okay.
and see if that might be helpful for you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I have 2 items that came up after this resolution, this agenda was drafted. Wanted to move 2 of our maintenance, water and sewer maintenance workers to the water and sewer maintenance worker 2 title. We have 2 individuals that have been working for the town for multiple years. They've done very well with our crew. They've volunteered to be on call. And we always try to provide upward movement for the guys to better themselves. So, and I think we discussed this. in budgetary-
52 seconds, yeah.
So, Eric Studley and Nick Valeschi are the 2 names. An additional one is also the purchase of a pump for the Balltown South pump station. That's going to be about $15,000. We replaced one of the pumps last year, and this is just a follow-up to the second pump there. Because if one pump went bad last year, it's at some point then the second one will go bad. So if we can order it, have it on hand, so when it goes bad, we can swap it out. It's another thing that we don't want to leave offline for a long time.
You have that in your budget, yes?
It's budgeted, yes.
Okay.
And is that finance approval or that's?
It's 15,000, so it's
Oh,
resolution.
yeah.
Utility billing,
Matt,
yes.
excuse me. Before you go on, let's talk a little bit. Tourist Road, Central, have area over there and what's been going on, because you had night breaks over there.
We have, yes.
Let's talk about that a little.
We had, I would say, probably in the last 2 months, about 6 water breaks in the area. Every time we've excavated, we've removed bad pipe, if we found bad pipe. If the pipe was just a localized hole. We put out pressure loggers and to measure the pressure in the system and make sure there wasn't something localized as far as one of our large demand customers pulling a lot of water and turning things on and off quickly, causing shock waves. We haven't really seen it. They sort of, I don't want to jinx anybody, but it slowed down. But the act of repairing it stresses the main, and then it breaks again, and then eventually it on its own will quiet down, and you'll go years before having an issue. We were also doing quite a bit of flushing over there in the last several months, so the flushing also stresses the main. But traditionally, that area wasn't an area prone to a large number of breaks, so
Right.
I'm pretty confident that it should resolve itself over time if we don't find a specific cause. But things have been trending in the right direction. It's not as
You haven't found like a serious problem.
list to replace in other parts of town. We know damage on the outside. You can see that it's corroded. We're not seeing that necessarily there. We're just seeing individual locate. It could have been during construction. A piece of pipe was handled incorrectly when it was put on the ground 40 years ago. And then now it's causing an issue. Or it could just be a localized hotspot in the soil conditions causing the issue. But we're not finding large scale issues with the main over there.
Okay, it's just frustrating, as you know.
Oh, it
the
is. It
residents
is for us
over
too.
there, and-
And some of the work, we've also done some valve repair while we're over there too. So some of the shutdowns were related to repairing valves as we were working. If the valve leaks right when we needed to use it, we dig it up and fix it at the same time.
No, I know your crews, you guys have been doing a good job over there trying to remediate these problems as quickly as possible to minimize the outage.
Yeah, and nobody wants a break. I mean, it's warmer for us. It's not good for the residents. We want to provide water without any interruption, and when we have to turn it off, it's not good for anybody. I think the crews have been great neighbors, and so I'm very thankful for the work they've done. But none of us want to continue making repairs over there. So I'm hoping things will begin to.
This is something all municipalities are dealing with in the Northeast. I mean, you can
Yes.
just look up in Saratoga where they had to boil water.
Townwide, I believe, right? Citywide.
Yeah, citywide.
So hopefully, a better report next month. I'll let you know how it's going.
So far, the readings from the flow meters seem good.
The pressure log,
Pressure log.
that we're not seeing any. We have seen it in other places where we've had breaks, and we could point it back to fire department activity or other things where people open fire hydrants too quickly. This isn't showing to be one of those cases. It logs it down to the millisecond. I can see spikes in the pressure.
Okay, thank you for the update on that.
Let's see, where was it? Utility billing. We had this my mistake, but 257 Pine Ridge, they were placed in the wrong sewer district at one point, so they were billed incorrectly for a couple cycles. So this would be the refund for that. It's been resolved, but it's $623.53. 623 and 53 cents. Utility billing, I want to thank Beth for working on the new water and sewer rates. I think it's still in progress, but I know she's been paying a ton of time into it. I want to thank her for everything she's done for that. Wastewater treatment plant. Update on the organic waste program. We've had these 4 trucks now once a week without any major issues at all to the operations of the plant. The digesters are happy. The chemistry looks good. continuing to move forward on that. We're still working with DEC to, we're a little bit of a delay just because of the changeover between the former regulator that we work with to the person that replaced him. I think a lot of the information that we provided in the past, she's asking for again. I think it's just more easy for her to process the packet from us again rather than go through his records. But it shouldn't slow down anything we're doing right now. This is something we're sort of expecting because we're rolling out the other the fog and the sugar soda waste anyway. So this will all work out in the end. We did have a heating issue at the plant. One of the furnace in the belt press room, but we're trying to figure out exactly what happened. We had a gas leak and a heater issue at the same time. Took the heater down in that one building, and we lost a couple of the cross water lines. They froze.
Right at Christmas,
Yeah.
when it got down to 10 degrees
Yeah.
or whatever.
Overnight it went from 60 degrees inside the building down, pulled in fresh air, but didn't heat it. So it was just pulling that 10-degree air, and so we broke a couple water lines in there. The crews, the operators down there did a great job. They got everything back up online over the last week or so, and that is the building where we do accept the organic waste. It did not impact their ability to take it there. They were able to do the repairs while still receiving the waste, so that was a good sign. So I want to thank the guys for doing that.
Oh, that's great. What happens, or, how do we ensure that doesn't happen again?
Two things. I'm going to see about additional alarming on the furnace. That was one of the furnaces that was installed as part of the upgrade. And the old furnace that was removed during the upgrade, I have furnaces that were from the old water and sewer garage, which were relatively new when we took the old building down. I'm going to have them mounted in that building as a backup, and will only come on when the temperature reaches 40 degrees. And just have a totally dumb system that will just run on its own. It's not nothing fancy, but would protect against this in the future.
You don't need fancy.
It worked fine the way it was before. So that would just be a backup to keep it from happening again. And it would just be.
Can I make a suggestion to you? Something we have on our firehouse with our secondary system, if the thermostat kicks on, it kicks a relay that turns on a bulb outside the building, like a red bulb. So that way we know that the secondary system has kicked on.
Yep.
If you drive by or, they're just walking.
That would be good. That's a good suggestion. Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate, but we have ways to protect against it in the future. Let's see. These just renewal of the contract with the city of Albany to use their landfill for disposal of sludge.
We need it for the organizational meeting.
I can't. It ended at the end of the last year, but Kathy, I know last year they were very lean on it. The price doesn't change until July or June 1st.
honor it.
So, yeah, if we can do it, it'd be helpful. If not, C is a resolution to purchase additional materials for the maintenance of our UV system. The UV disinfection system at the sewer plant has expensive bulbs and other components that need to be serviced over time. And if we don't keep up on it, the performance drops down, and then we can have issues with violating our permit. So the cost to do the next round of bulb replacements would be $15,000.
Didn't we have something about this earlier this year?
There's three banks, four.
4 banks.
There's 4 banks. We did one of the 4 banks.
Okay.
So this is be the next one, and then just keep going.
Remember,
I remember asking about this. Yeah, okay.
You got a lot of them 15s.
the target price.
Next item, water treatment plant. Meeting with the contractor today, I may have some prices for some of the structural works on the walls that need to be built as part of the upgrade project that we took out of the original bid. We're trying to break it up into the smaller contractors. So if I have a price for some of that work, I'll have a resolution for the next meeting. And that's all I have. Anything else?
Does anybody have anything else? I don't either.
Okay.
Let's put it in the middle, right? All right, our next meeting is February 2nd at 8 AM. Everybody's all right with that? Okay,
This one's been scheduled for somebody almost a year now.
I'll accept the motion to adjourn. Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll adjourn. Thank you, everybody.
Bring that up. I have to look and see, this wasn't gonna just be-
Thanks, Kath.